Dallas Cowboys. The boys are back in town like, it's your favorite homie. That's me. Here we go. Roll in it hard. Watch them roll and watch them roll. Watch them lead them Cowboys to the Super Bowl. Now watch me crank that Cowboys. Now watch me crank that Cowboys. Now watch me crank that Cowboys. Now watch me crank that Cowboys.
Hey y'all, welcome to my first tutorial. I'm really excited today. Today is Saturday, and today is like Christmas for me, because today starts the 2009 NFL Draft. Woohoo! So I'm really excited. So in the spirit of the draft, I decided to do a really crazy bold look, representing my favorite team, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Woohoo! Go Cowboys! So I'm using white, silver, and a navy blue, and that's just the basis of the look today. So if you want to see how I did this, then keep watching. Okay, so to start, I've already primed my lid with Urban Decay Primer Potion. Feel free to use whatever you have or you're comfortable with. And then what I'm going to do is take a little bit of NYX's Milk, and I'm just going to put this a little bit kind of along the lash line here. We only want a little bit, okay? And then always, when you're blending things on your fingers, always use your ring finger or your pinky finger. They're the softest of your fingers, and they're not going to do any damage to your eye. And so I'm just going to blend that out, trying to stay only on the lid as much as possible. If you get a little bit in your crease, it's no big deal, because this is so soft and we're going to put so much color over it, it's not really going to make that much of a deal. Bring it down a little bit in that inner corner, and I got some on my bottom eye, but that's okay. Okay, so when you have all that blended out, we are going to start with NYX's white, which is just a matte white. Feel free to use whatever you have available. And it can be shimmer, matte, whatever. And so I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush, tap off the extra, and we're going to stay in this first third of our eye and just kind of pack all of that on. Go in for a little more. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring it up a little bit above the crease. So keep with your eye shape, but go above that crease. And we are going to be blending that out, so no worries. No, it looks kind of funky right now. I went a little bit over that 1/3, but it's not that big of a deal. And then put some in this inner corner and blend down to your lash line, bottom lash line. Okay. Doesn't need to be perfect, because like I said, we're going to be blending this out. Okay, so now that we have the matte white on there, I'm going to take, now this is the regular 88 palette, not the shimmer palette, but I'm going to take this silver that's in this top corner here. We're going to use that on the rest of our lid. So kind of put that over that white, since I went over that, 1/3 that I wanted to do. And just pack that on your lid. Again, meeting that white above your crease and just continuing with that shape. And then what you want to do is use your brush and either go in back and forth motions, you can do swirls, you can go up and down. Whatever kind of blending method you guys prefer, just make sure you're blending that line between the white and the silver. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more to the lid. And then I'm going to take some of that silver, same brush, you don't have to get out a pencil brush or anything, just use what you have. and then line underneath your eye, blending it into that white with that silver. Also, another tip, if you are going to be using a lot of color underneath your lower lash line, I definitely recommend that you take whatever base you used on the top of your lid, whether that's the Urban Decay Primer Potion. If you're not using that, if you're using the Milk, go ahead and spread that underneath your lower lash line. I did that with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. And that's just going to help keep those colors in place, because the last thing you want is smudging, you know, especially blue. You don't want smudging blue all over your face. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to take, this is a matte deep navy blue, and this is in an NYX quad, and this color is called Space. Now, this is Velvet Blue, Ocean Frost, and Space. But I do want to let you guys know that NYX does make a single eyeshadow called Space, but it's not the same color. So just keep that in mind, and just go for any sort of a deep matte blue. It can be shimmery if you want, you know, use what you have, but just try and stay in those team colors is kind of our goal here. And sorry I'm sniffling, my allergies. God, the weather has been so beautiful here in Dallas, but my allergies are going crazy. Okay, so how I like to do, when I'm going to smoke out a color, and it's going to be a pretty dark color, I like to use a really tiny brush and dip it in that color, and then what I like to do is just place that in my crease. And don't worry about the way it looks right now. All you're really worried about right now, I hope you can see that and I'm not blocking your view, but what you're worried about right now is just placement, okay? And obviously it's not as dark as it's going to need to be, and it looks like crap right now. But the thing about using dark colors, especially when you're doing them above the crease, is it's easier to build. You don't want to put too much and then have to try and blend it down and soften it. You always want to be able to build. So now that I've put that little bit of color, I'm just going to take a blending brush. And now this is a pretty dense blending brush. So whatever type of blending brush you have is fine. And I am just going to start blending that out. And get that base, kind of like what we're going for here. So now that I know, I'm like, okay, well, I kind of like the shape. I know where I'm going with this. Now I'm going to take another brush and be able to put on a deeper color with it. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just taking an angled brush. Try and tap off the extra from this, because fallout of really dark colors can just be so annoying at times. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to tailor it down, kind of bring it down to a point here, and then fan it up. I know it looks scary. This is a really bold look, but we are going to tone it down just a bit. We're going to be blending out all those colors, so it's not going to look so super crazy. I'll go in for a little bit more color and just bring it down a little bit on this outer part of my crease and my lid, just to kind of make it a little bit more uniform.